Hi, I'm John Laing. I'm on the TAP program at Zayed University. This is my first assignment. Let's hope this goes a bit faster. The last one I did went for 8.5 minutes, so let's hope for 4 this time. The short description of the group that I teach, it's my EGAP 4 level. They're all about an IELTS 4.5. There's 16 in my group at the moment, but this task was a group of 3 classes all doing it together. So there was about 45 students in total. I've got a pretty good rapport with this group, having taught them for a very long semester of 16 weeks. They're at the end of that semester and they have final exams coming up, for which one of the sections is a listening summary, so an EAP style listening summary, a lecture style. So to that end, what I tried out was something that was prompted by the materials that were in the first week, TAP course materials, the TED Talks being used for study skills development. So what that dovetailed nicely with was a project that I'm working on at the moment called the Lecture Series Development Program, whereby we're trying to create a series of authentic materials that the students can use to give them a real-life experience in a sort of lecture-style environment, because a lot of these students have not yet, because they're pre-sessional, have not yet been in a proper lecture environment with a lecturer in front of them from whom they have to take notes that could be used later in the course. So, to that end, I have been developing the following, which I'll edit in just a moment. I've designed a script based on Dieter Ram's 10 Principles of Good Design, because one of the units from the textbook is about design, so I tried to make it connect in some way. And so I've written a script which means that we can reproduce this authentic lecture style presentation over and over every semester. And it deals with 3 elements. One is the functionalism, what functionalism is, a bit of biographical information about Dieter Rams himself, and then at the end, the 10 principles of good design. This is all adapted from internet-based material, which I've modified to a certain extent to make it a little easier for these lower level students. They're all about a 4.5 IELTS, as I mentioned. But not to make it so easy that it's not a little bit of a challenge of their listening skills. With this comes a scaffolded note-taking sheet so that we can show the students the Cornell style of left and right, left side of the sheet being main ideas and right-hand side being the notes. We've sort of scaffolded it to a certain extent to sort of show them how that would work for them in the real-life scenario, and giving them a couple of words to keep them on track throughout the listening. And also to make it as authentic and realistic as possible, I've designed this PowerPoint presentation, which breaks the presentation down as a lecturer would. So the basic idea why I tried it was to try and give the students a better sense of the lecture environment. It would practice their note-taking skills for listening, which we've been pushing for the whole semester, and also its preparation for the end of course exams, which are in a couple of weeks' time. So 3-pronged approach, trying to be authentic, trying to be EAP-ish, and prompted by the TED information that was in the course. How effective was it? It went very, very well, actually. And did I anticipate any difficulties? Well, I think I did. Basically, we've been playing recordings for them in class maybe a couple of times to let them take notes twice and check their notes, and a bit of cross-checking of their note-taking with each other. But in this instance, we were performing the presentation like a lecture, so they only got to hear it once. It was a little bit long, although it was around about the same length as the in-class listings we've been providing, of about 10 to 12 minutes. So really, I would have to say that the learners responded quite well to this presentation. My students' summaries were pretty good. They got the bio stuff well because I'd provided that within the PowerPoint. The biographical information was there. They just needed to take notes from the visual and audible presentation. And really what I was pushing for was the ability to hear the 10 principles of good design, and make notes of what they were, and then be able to summarize each of those 10 principles in a sentence or so. And in my class, at least, the students that I saw, most of them did a pretty good job of it. Just to sum up, at the end of it, I gave them the script, actually, to check their own summaries, and most of them were pretty chuffed with themselves that they'd done a reasonably good job. Some of the lower level ones probably needed to practice their listening a little bit more. But anyway, so there, I've done it in 5 minutes and 45 seconds rather than 8.5 minutes. Thank you very much. I hope that's what you were looking for in this first assignment. Thank you very much.